Hi, I'm Kirk Evans, president of U.S. LawShield. We're here today to update you on the laws in Pennsylvania as they apply to protecting property. Now, the reason we're doing that, and this has come to the forefront, is the Bureau of Police in the city of Pittsburgh has announced that it will no longer respond to police calls unless there is a current existing emergency, and that crimes such as theft and criminal mischief will no longer be the subject of emergency calls. Instead, you'll have to report those online or in writing or over the phone, but the police will not be sent out for reporting those types of crimes. So a lot of folks, this has generated a ton of interest. A lot of folks have said, well, okay, fine, the cops aren't going to be there. I'll carry my firearm and I'll deal with these situations myself. The difficulty is in Pennsylvania, the protection of property in and of itself, meaning you're protecting your bike getting stolen out of your driveway, your purse that you left in your backseat of your car. The use of deadly force is almost never permitted to protect your property under those circumstances in Pennsylvania. So if you go, hey, the cops aren't going to show up, I'm going to use my firearm to prevent theft or criminal mischief, you are not going to have a legal justification for using deadly force in Pennsylvania or the city of Pittsburgh. Now, there are a couple circumstances where that gets a little murky and might work in your favor. And the first is, one, if that property crime turns into a situation where your life or you're facing death or serious bodily injury, you may be justified in using force. So, for example, you see someone stealing a bike off your porch, you run out and say, hey, stop. They turn around and charge you with a knife. At that point, you're no longer protecting yourself from the property crime. You are in fear of death or serious bodily injury, and you can use deadly force to protect yourself. The other circumstance is where the castle doctrine is involved. So if you are in your occupied car or home, motor vehicle or home, and someone unlawfully with force breaks into your home or that motor vehicle, you get a legal presumption that will help establish that your use of deadly force was justified. Now, that only applies to an occupied home or motor vehicle. So if you're pulling up after a nice dinner and you pull into the driveway and someone comes running out the front door with your TV, your home was not occupied. You may not use deadly force to stop that property crime unless you were already in the residence and someone was breaking in or trying to remove you from the residence or from your vehicle. Now, for U.S. LawShield members, if you have any questions about the law in Pennsylvania or in the city of Pittsburgh and how that might apply with this new edict from the Bureau of Police, call into U.S. LawShield, ask to speak to the independent program attorney there in Pennsylvania, and they can walk you through what you can and cannot do to protect yourself from property crimes, theft, criminal mischief, things like that under this new edict from the Bureau of Police in Pittsburgh. Or if you live anywhere else in Pennsylvania or in any other state, again, feel free to call in, talk to the independent program attorney in your state to ask what you can and cannot do, when you can and cannot use deadly force to protect your property in your state. Thanks very much.